Rescue efforts are in full swing after yesterday's mass whale stranding on Tasmania's west coast. Reporter Monty Beauville joins us now from Strawn. Monty, yes, some really sad news this morning about the numbers. Just take us through the numbers that initially beached and the numbers that are still alive now.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. It's a devastating scene here in Tasmania's west. What we know is that around 230 pilot whales stranded on Ocean Beach, a short distance away from where I am here in Strawn. We've just had an update from authorities moments ago, and we've learned that only 35 of those 230 are still alive. So a truly devastating scene out on Ocean Beach. What we know is that this effort, there was a big triage effort yesterday to find the whales that were most likely to survive, and today it will be moving into a rescue and recovery for those whales. We'll see local aquaculture companies and their boats used to pull some of those whales out into deeper water. We spoke to Chris Carline from the Marine Conservation Program. He says there might be some more bad news to come.
I think it's inevitable that we may lose a few more. These animals have been stranded now for over 24 hours. They are in a really highly exposed, stressful location. They're not semi-buoyant as they were last time, with cool water around them and supporting them. So it's a much more challenging environment for those animals. And they get moved around in that high energy shore break as well. So they're stressed. They've had a long time on the beach, and it is a possibility certainly that we may lose further animals. I think we've got the team and the strategy in place now to maximise success, and we'll be working hard all day to make sure we can save as many as possible.
Yeah, terribly sad news, Monty. And have they gone into any detail, the rescuers, about how they're actually going to pull them out? Do they tie ropes around them and try to pull them out, or how does it work?
Yeah, that's right. So they basically put them on under a bit of a sleeve, a slip under them, and then they put them sort of on the side of a boat. We saw these sort of similar practices used 2 years ago when a similar event happened in this exact location. So we saw those sort of strategies put in place, and those local aquaculture companies are helping out, and they'll be used again this time around.
And Monty, you mentioned that there'd been another stranding there. Was it kind of in exactly the same spot or nearby? And what are the theories as to why this is a particular spot for beachings?
Well, Tasmania is known as a hotspot for whale strandings, and as I say, there was a stranding in the exact location here at Macquarie Harbour 2 years ago to the exact day yesterday, so the same day as well. So there is really no explanation as to why this stranding has happened this time around, but there is some indication, of course, that the fact that there are so many strandings here, that there might be some environmental factors at play here. That last stranding in 2020 had 470 pilot whales involved, and to put it in context, in that time only around 100 survived. So certainly there might be some environmental factors at play. We just heard from authorities then, they described it as a natural whale trap, this area. So unfortunately for the whales this time around, they're stuck on Ocean Beach, which is a much more difficult area. Some of the whales in that 2020 event were stuck on Ocean Beach, but many of the ones that were saved were in the harbour itself, and they were the ones that were able to be saved more likely because they were sort of surrounded by more water.
Yeah, OK, well, we'll definitely be across this story through the day. Monty Beauville reporting there from Strawn on Tasmania's west coast.